Are we an episode? Are we on? Are we
We're
rolling?
on. We're rolling.
Well, like we say, we always need that fancy little music that we don't have any of. I think this is episode 8.
Episode number 8. Here
All
we
right,
are.
Here we are. Welcome to the Gotta Have Miami podcast, and we are live over at Peacock Park's boardwalk, overlooking beautiful Biscayne Bay. Actually, the Sailing Club is down behind us. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to give you episodes every Tuesday and every Friday. The Fridays will be going into a weekend, and then the Tuesday will be recapping that weekend and then maybe preparing for the rest of the day. So that's going to be our goal.
Yes.
How we do it in reality is going to be a different story,
Well,
but we're going
there's
to give it a go.
Only one way to find out.
Is to do
Set a goal and see if you could do it.
And set a goal and see if we can do it. So yeah, that's going to be our plan. So I think one of the topics that we want to talk about today is what's happening with the condo market and with all of the new laws that are taking effect throughout Miami-Dade County and the state of Florida, and how they're going to be affecting condos, especially the disclosure laws that we've been seeing, and also how it's going to affect maybe even the market of them
Right.
in the future. So we just went through a deal
Yes.
where we knew that there was a special assessment coming up. Nobody really wanted to disclose it to us.
Right.
It was like really mysterious. Like, well, we know there's one
Kinda,
coming, but
sorta.
but sort of maybe, but we don't have to do it. And it ended up being $30 million.
30 mil.
30 mil, 30 mil between friends is like nothing. And there's only like 180 something units in the building. So it's like $160,000 assessment.
Right.
So one of the topics that we had to deal with is we prepared for it in contractual forms.
Right, of course.
So we actually, put down on the addendums that the seller was responsible for any of the assessments that
Pending
were coming up,
assessments, yeah.
because they weren't disclosing it fast enough or quick enough for us. So at least as agents, we took care of it that way.
Yep.
And I think the buyers were very receptive and very happy that we
I
did.
think receptive is a under
Under
an under description of their
description,
feelings.
static.
Yeah, and let's talk specifically about that unit. Super unique unit.
Yep.
On the high-end market, we're talking 1 mil plus, and it's just as difficult there. I typically work with buyers who are in your average price range, 300s to 500s, and they feel like, poor me, I'm poor, I can't buy a house because I'm getting beat out by cash offers and this and that. The same thing's happening
Everywhere.
at every price point. With the text message you just got, the 1.8 that went for 2.1. It's at every price point. So
I believe that. I think you're right. We always suffer or feel that we're feeling for our clients in that 300 to 500 range, but it's at every level.
It is.
We had the deal under contract, and they still had 2 backup offers on top of us. So there's really very few limits that you can do or negotiate, and we were just fortunate to be able to negotiate it early on.
Yeah.
And and then it made it happen.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that Ash and I have been talking about is that these new disclosure laws that are coming out are going to be a really, really big change in the condo market.
Yeah.
Simply because I think buyers are going to be more interested in reading condo docs, which before they didn't, getting condo docs, getting the budgets, and then actually understanding. And I think this is all comes from what happened in Surfside.
Right.
But now we're starting to actually see it in work
action.
in action.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the key element. We're starting to see how things that happened there are now starting to enforce or be in play in the condo market.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Cool thing for buyers and realtors and everybody, sellers too, the condo will have to put their condo docs up in the portal by February 2023. So that makes it real easy to disclose what's going on, because you just go onto the portal and see what's going on.
Yeah, a lot of times we've talked about this. We have to pull teeth to get anything out of condos, especially some of the condos that are trying to hide stuff and are not going to be as let's say forthcoming with information.
Correct.
And I think this is going to help a lot of folks get information out there in a timely manner, and one of the nice parts about it too is it's going to be anything that's on the budget, anything that's a maintenance issue.
Yeah.
It's going to be out there, and especially with the new lending laws from Freddie and Fannie, that anything that has any kind of maintenance issues has to be 25% or more. I think it's going to be a good thing for the market. I think it's going to put a little bit of a lull
it's going to be a lull,
No.
but they'll adjust. We always adjust.
Yeah, we do. In Miami, that's one of the things we do. We adjust, and we adjust really fast. Let me tell you. So tell me about your little deals that you've been going on. And
Well, I really want to talk about buyers specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that the market's crazy. It's hard to be a buyer these days. Sellers have all the power, and they always have all the power, whether the market's tough or not. But specifically, it's really important to work with realtors that you have confidence in their communication. We now have 2 deals under contract strictly because we were a verbal backup offer and just frequent communication with the listing agent. We have the one south of 5th that it went under contract within 2 days of being listed. We stayed on top of the agent, nicely, not annoying, lightly, just hey, checking in. And it turns out the first contract fell through, and we were her first call.
Yeah, we were first, and we put it under contract the same day. And then you had the other one from
out in Kendall.
Yeah, out in Kendall.
Kendall is a tough place to find a house.
It is.
So similar situation. House was listed. There was going to be an open house. I reached out to that realtor immediately when it was listed to see if she would accept an offer, if the owners would accept an offer before the open house. She said they wouldn't. We moved on because the buyers I was working with, very time sensitive on their timeline, so we moved on. But I kept in touch with her. And when her first contract fell through, I was her first phone call, under contract that same day.
And I think that's happening a lot more than most people think, because a lot of there's this panic buy attitude. You go to these open houses and there's 7,000 people at these open houses, and you think to yourself, oh my, I've got to put an offer in. And a lot of times the offers either aren't well thought out or there is buyer's remorse. And as long as you, as an agent, are following up with the listing agent, the listing agent also has to have a lot of confidence in who you are and how you work and how you operate. So that shows up really quickly on how we write contracts. I mean, we get contracts every once in a while that have the wrong owner names. I even got one the other day that had the wrong address on it. And then you start to say to yourself, do I really want to work with somebody that is, not even efficient from the very beginning or making an offer? So I think those are the things that we as agents can convey to listing agents for the buyers. And I think that's how we get a lot of the transactions that we do because of that.
Well, point is that even if you're that average 300 to 500 buyer, it's possible.
Yeah, it is.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. It's possible. Going back to the condo thing, one of the things that you mentioned, Kendall, I really do believe that this new disclosure law is going to really affect a lot of the buildings out on the west side. Horizons went through a horrific little.
Well, look at the Hammocks. Is an HOA that has multiple condos within that HOA, and I can only imagine the disaster coming down the pipeline there.
They're talking about inflating upping their maintenance fees up almost 300%. Yeah, and there's going to be, and what's going to come out of all of these disclosure laws is just no. I don't think foreclosures so much, because right now, since the market's so strong, you're really not going to be foreclosed on. You'll be able to sell the property and get your money out of it. Somebody asked me about that today. Somebody made a comment about that, and I said, listen, I don't see foreclosures because the market's too strong. It's like same thing with short sales. You don't see those. Because again, if you are in a financial pinch, you can actually put it on the market, sell it probably more than what you, definitely more than what you bought it for.
I have a deal closing between today and Monday, and that's exactly, I know, I shouldn't even talk about it.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. These sellers, it's evident that they were in a tight pinch. Otherwise, they probably would have been foreclosed on, but the market's so strong that not only did they have multiple offers, fortunately ours was selected, but I also have a buyer that's sitting around 60 days past our original closing date waiting for the house.
And that's something we're dealing with, with a condo in Brickell. Where I think it's the only contract that I've ever seen 8 addendums. 8 like extension addendums. You figure by then the seller would get tired, or the buyer would say, I'm done. And actually 3 different lenders, 3 different appraisals.
Wow.
I mean, this has been insane.
And
both parties are still in the deal simply because of the need to, get the transaction done.
And what's the holdup is the condo.
Yeah, it's a condo.
It's a condo issue.
Disclosing and legal, and that's what's wrong. If it wasn't for that, this would have closed, several months ago.
So
that's one of the
months.
things.
Months at this point. Wow.
Yeah, so I think what you're going to be seeing, and keep an eye on it, from the media standpoint, is that these condo regulations, these little things that are being done, are going to really affect the health of buildings, and again, just a disclosure, it'll facilitate so much information for us so that we can make intelligent decisions and make the buyers aware of things that are coming or going. So I think that's a strong thing. How's the rental market? Talk to me about the rental market.
So look, another example. We have fancy high-end and we have your average Joe.
Yeah.
So we had a Brickell listing, 1-1, gorgeous view, $4,200 a month. Went over asking.
Yep. And we have now somebody that wants to buy it with the tenant inside of it. So it's going to be really, because I think that's some of that investment money that's moving in because of the things that are happening around the world. And I think, we're seeing some of that maybe investment dollar coming in.
Yeah.
I don't see so much of the money that was, the big money that was coming down, because I think they took a hit with all of the financial losses in their 401ks and all that good stuff, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
And then even we put one up in Hollywood.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it was.
That one's been crazy, huh?
Yeah, get an idea. It used to rent at $1,600 or $1,700. It went at $2,200, and we actually got 4 or 5 offers over asking. We've had 50-something inquiries to show it, and we've had 25 offers on it. And then
right here in Coconut Grove.
Coconut Grove.
A little studio, $1,600. We have full year upfront offers, multiple months upfront, over asking.
Yeah, and we had, in an hour, we had 22 showings.
Yeah.
And then we started getting inquiries about it. And again, we've talked about in some of these other shows, is you've got to put a stop to a lot of these showings simply because the seller or the landlord, they just can't handle the information, and I think that's one of the things that we're seeing. So the market is still crisp. It's still, even though it's a little bit warm today. It's a little warm today, guys. I mean,
summer's approaching.
Yeah, summer is here, and if you're coming down to Miami, just make sure that you're in shorts, as what I wear all the time. And I'll tell you what, but it is a pretty day, and it's going to be a nice weekend. Anything going on this weekend outside of me playing golf?
You're playing golf. I've got a baby shower. I
felt like Johnny Carson just now.
I don't know if there's anything going on in Miami this weekend.
I don't know.
I feel out of touch at the moment.
I think everything happened. I think, oh no, what's coming up? Spring break for all you kids.
Well, that starts Monday.
Yeah, all the little terrorists will be out there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh yeah, but there'll be no traffic, which is a good part.
We always love no traffic in Miami.
No traffic. Well, again, thank you for stopping by, checking us out. And again, we're going to try to do this every Tuesday, every Friday from different locations throughout Miami. And again, have a great weekend. I'm Javier.
I'm Ashley.
And we're out.
See ya.
Bye.